Hey, what's up? Throwing back again. Um, I want to tonight. I want to do something a little bit different. Uh, I'm getting guitar lessons last couple of months. I'm working on a song. So what I wanted, I got a lesson tomorrow. I got postponed from tomorrow, so I got an hour lesson tomorrow. So I want to. This is more of a prep for going into the lesson tomorrow. So I just thought I'd go through some of the homework exercises I had for the last few weeks, and show how I practice. Like we broke the song is broken down into multiple segments. Songs I shouldn't really say, it'll get flagged. Uh, not that anybody cares, but I'm not gonna say you figure it out. It doesn't particularly matter what the song is. Same applies to everything. So we break the song down in logical chunks and we work on it. So what I'm gonna do, go through start to finish how I practice these things. So we're just gonna jump into it. So before I get into it, though, I typically do a little bit of a warm up before I even start this kind of a thing. The habit I get into, just gonna run through major scales and the pentatonic scales. I typically do G major, so we'll do the G major up and down the neck. So we'll do a major scale down, a pentatonic scale back. And then we'll start here. Now I'm technically not playing the major scale because I'm not starting and ending on the root note, but for the warm up, I don't really care. I gotta start that one again. That was horrible. Alright, so major scale. Obviously, you need more work on that. I messed up those scales a couple times, but that's a good to get the fingers moving. Next one I'll typically do is spider exercises. I won't go through this one too long, but it's more of a finger independence thing. Keep all four fingers locked and move one finger at a time. And the point isn't go fast, it's just to go do it just to get the fingers slow. So in this case, probably better to go slow. try to at least make it sound half, not mute the strings while I'm doing it. And you can move up the neck. Yeah, so I'm not going to do much more of that. What else do I do? Oh, so before I get into anything, I do the same thing, but it's pull-offs. So I'll do. I'm not going to bore you with that. I'd probably go through that for a little bit longer, but so on. So at this point, we've done major scale and major pentatonic up and down the neck. The spotter exercises for finger independence. We've done some pull-offs right now, so things are starting to loosen up a little bit. At this point, I'll probably pull off this little riff, not a little riff, but a little lick. It's like my go-to lick. This. It's got a little bit of everything in it. Got a couple string bands. I completely messed that one up. This is good. This is a good one to make sure you're bending in tune. So we want to bend this one to this note. And then we're going to bend this one to this note. Anyway, so that's and another lick that I typically go to for a warm up is. Do that one again. So I like that one even better. That one's got some string bands, pull-offs. Let's do that one again one more time. And it's got a little bit of a trill in there. So you're getting hammer-ons, pull-offs, string bends, a little bit of vibrato. So even there, just playing that little lick, there's how many things did I do wrong here? String muting's not going. There's a lot of excessive string noise. Fingers are not. There's a little bit of accuracy problems. So that I like to practice that one because then it picks up on all the things that I need to work on. So that's pretty much the warm up. Now I typically break into just some basic chord changes. So we've got the fingers moving a little bit. So I typically do like GCD. Or some bar chords. This little trick. I like this one. Nah. Nope. That one needs a bit of work, but that's another one that needs a bit of a warm up. So at this point now we're pretty much good to go. But one more thing is, when I first started taking guitar lessons, one of the first things we were working on is the blues. We started like a little bit of a bass line walk, so I typically would throw that in there for good measure. So that's the warm up. So now we're good to start in on some of this stuff. So the song is, I won't say the words. You know, the owner of the copyright of the song is just ridiculous. That's the basic chord progression through the whole song. It gets more complicated than that, but it's C, G, D, A minor, and E minor. And everything is one bar except for the last E minor, which is 2 bars. And if you want, you can switch it up. Or play some E sharp 9, or I don't even know what this chord is. Some famous guitarists usually played this, but much better than I ever will. So that's the chord progression. But the intro to such songs was one of the pieces. So we're gonna break it down into a bunch of pieces. That's the underlying chord structure. How does it go? Right. So do that one again. So that's a little riff right there. So a little bit of a double stop and a slide and some pull off, and then so there's a few little so this is me being a noob. A lot of experienced guitar players probably, how many things can you find wrong with how I'm playing this? But this stuff doesn't come easy to me, so I gotta work at it. Now see? It's not bad. Okay, so that little segment there, I do a little bit more work on it, but that's I would practice that over and over. Some of these times I would break out a metronome. That's one segment. The next little piece of that would be this some type of a little the mini bar chord here. And then the next piece is this, I believe. So in this one, what I'm trying to do is get it even. Hammer on and a finger roll. Simple 3-note. And then it goes into the chord. All right, so that's the first little bit. So let's see if I can put it together. Yeah, so that little this funky E chord, 9 chord or whatever you call it, up here at the 7th fret. That's not right. That's better. So that was, I think that was my very first lesson on this song. There's one little run in there. Is this thing. No, that's all right. There we go. So being able to pull that off. You can throw that in there in the song anyway. If you're not playing it absolutely to the letter, then you can free to mix up the song any way you want because you're just improvising. Basically, for our lesson, we're taking these components of a song and then composing them into something and improvising over top. And we're not trying to be exactly like the original, but more of all the techniques down to be able to basically play the chord progression. Have this going in the background. Sorry, I got an alert on my phone saying my account was suspended from a bank that I don't deal with. Spam alert. God damn. Anyway. basically take that chord progression and then solo over top of it through, I don't know. So some of these like... So whatever tickles your fancy. Something. So learning how to solo over top of a 12-bar blues or any type of chord progression, that's really what I'm working on. But we're just using the context of this particular song that I'm not going to mention. So that's the introduction. Oh crap! One sec. So that was basically the first lesson. So I've got the tab for what we were working on at the time. So just going back through that to refresh my memory. So we'll toss that one to the side. Done with that one. Okay, so there's a little bit of some soloing in the song that's a little bit insane, way above my abilities. But there's this one. There's a hammer-ons and pull-offs up at the 12th fret. So we'll just go through that real quick. So these are the kinds of things I would just practice with metronome. I won't bore you with that for now. No, it's not right. Alright, so the hammer-on. One, two, three. I'm trying to get it even. So it's a hammer-on and a finger roll. And so I'll practice that a bit more. And then the equivalent of the pull-off, same thing. At the 12th fret, 12 up to 15. One, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three, one, two, three, one, two. And I think that was all for that lesson. Yeah, so that one was the lesson specifically on hammer-ons and pull-offs. And we'll toss that one to the side. I need a little bit more work on that one. I spilt my beer. That's why I had... It's all over my desk. Clean that up in a bit. Hammer-ons, pull-offs. So it's the same. So we're combining that. This is one I was practicing earlier to the metronome. So it's how does this one go? Right. So that one, I'll show you the metronome of that one real quick. Let's put it on. I was at 103. Let's bump it down then like 90, 97 or something. Let's go 93. So I want to do the same thing. So that's basically that's the thing about for me learning guitar. It's at this stage it's purely mechanical. I'm trying to get the feel for it. So this is basically it's brute force, playing with a metronome, practice, repetition, 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 and that's how. I mean, I'm still not very good. I can still do. It takes a long time to get to here. It's been playing every day for day 469. I played 11 months, I think, or something from Justin Guitar, and I've only now in the last couple of months started doing lead guitar work. So I've spent twice as much time on just the rhythm and chords and chord transitions and all that kind of stuff, wire chords and all that kind of fun stuff. And only recently, the last few months, have I started doing on string bends and hammer-ons and pull-offs and riffs and all that kind of fun stuff. Had my time back, I probably would have started working on both in parallel. But, I get the... working on rhythm alone without having to worry about the lead guitar stuff. It was okay. I had my time back, I probably would have done both, but so that's that one. Alright, so let's do... there's only 2 more exercises left of this, what I've been practicing so far. So we're doing some type of a there's a C, so it's C, G, D, and A. So we're going to do some form of an arpeggio. So this is one I've been practicing. So I practiced them a bit more with the metronome. So that's part of being able to playing those independently, but being able to break those out in the song in time. That's the thing I need to practice a little bit more. So really, I had a looper, which really would have been perfect, but being able to play that at tempo, that's the next thing to work on. But for now, I'm working on just getting the mechanics of those things down. So that's really all these things that I'm talking about now is just getting the mechanics down and building up a vocabulary of lead guitar techniques that I can pull out when I need to, and it's just getting into playing lead guitar type stuff. So I just got to keep doing this over and over till it becomes till it's muscle memory, and then I can focusing on the feel of it all and making sure it sounds the way I want it to sound. But for now, it's just purely mechanical. There's nothing. I have no musical ability. I played guitar 469 days. Before that, I've never played a guitar. I played clarinet in like grade 6, but that's so long ago. I don't even remember anything. But other than that, no musical ability whatsoever. Starting from ground zero. And I've got to this point. You've seen so far. I've gone through basically all the stuff that I've been learning, and basically it's been 6 months of first 11 months was figuring out how to do something. So 11 months figuring out how to play those types of songs and chord progressions and bar chords, and then only in the last couple of months has it been on like stuff like string bands, hammer-ons, pull-offs. Yeah. So a lot of scale work more and learning, knowing all the notes in the neck and all that kind of fun stuff. There's just so much to learn on guitar. As long as you're learning something new every day, I don't see. It'd be good to structure your practice, but focus on one little thing at a time and just know what you're picking away at the broader scope of all music. So last one, we did the pull-offs. The last one I'll talk about is it's a string bend technique. So we're gonna do some form of C. So C at the 8th fret, and we're going to bend. If I can. That's basically. So we're doing in the chord progressions. So we're going to do a C. Yeah. No, if I could do it right. So it goes C to G, right? So it goes C. Then it goes D. D to A minor. And then it's E. So that's the trouble with. So we're kind of doing like a double stop and a string bend at the same time, and then move it up to the next string, do the same thing, and then move it up 2 frets to the D. The trouble I'm having with this one is that when I do the double stop and I do a string bend, I gotta keep this finger from bending the string. So I want to keep this finger. It's because I'm bending the B string, but I want to keep the high E stationary. But I'm bending both. So hence this practice, and then move it up. So that's the practice routine that I've been going through. That's pretty much where I'm at. That's been, how long is this? 30 minutes. So that's my practice routine for this song. It's been several weeks now that we're going through this material. I've obviously got a long way to go. And I'll end it off on, so in between all that stuff and watching other things, I've been learning this little one. A little bit of fingerstyle. Anyway, that's where I got with that. So I'll end it there. That was my practice routine for working on the bits of this song. It's just keep hammering on these stuff every day on top of and in your whole practice routine. But that's a half an hour of just dedicated to this one particular song that we're trying to work on, and we're more focused on being able to work on the chord progression and improvise over the top. Not particularly trying to learn that song, although it's a side effect. But there's so many lead techniques, all these little mechanical things to pull out in any type of a future lead guitarist. So that's really what we're focusing on. But at the same time, we're learning the structure of the song, and ultimately we'll be able to solo. But we'll call it there. That is my attempt. This is my practice theme for this particular song, and generally this would lead into how I'd practice any other song that I want to learn, or any other techniques I want to learn. Use the metronome on my phone when I need to work on timing. Other than that, I'm just purely mechanical, repetitive, and just keep hammering every day. 69 days straight has got me to this point. I'm happy with the progress coming from ground zero. So, it's work. I'm doing something right. If I'm not, I probably got a lot of bad habits, but I'm happy to hear any suggestions or feedback that you guys have. So I'll call it there. Till next time, Jerome out. Cheers.